We finally get to see what's happening with the Straw Hats on Elbaf. Luffy goes into Gear 5, and shockingly, the Sun God of Elbaf appears to fight him. So if you're excited about this crazy chapter, make sure to like this video. If you enjoy these One Piece reviews and want more, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Now, without further delay, let's dive into the chapter. The chapter begins in Big Stein Castle, where Sanji, carrying Nami, jumps down with the crew. They land below and find the entire kingdom is made of Lego pieces, with the huge Yggdrasil tree in the middle. Elbaf isn't what it seems. This sun god is no warrior of liberation. And that mirror in the women's court, oh boy, not a good idea. Then Gear 5 strolls into the chapter. Did you catch what happened? I missed it the first time. But first, I really like the chapter's opening. The crew's confusion mirrors what fans felt at the end of the last chapter. Nami even suggests they're all gigantic, which isn't far-fetched after seeing Luffy go giant in Wano and Egghead Island. Thankfully, we learn the truth about this Lego town. Zoro also has a weird encounter waking up. He says he woke up on the other side of town and saw Luffy defeating the giant Rabbiteer god. And then Luffy jokes that Usopp should have been able to handle the pet Catlion, but Usopp panicked after waking up mid-meal inside the cat. At the start of this arc, Usopp is clearly on a journey to becoming the brave warrior he dreams of being. Let's hope this arc ends better for him. Usopp notes that this kingdom isn't Elbaf since their giant warrior outfits are normal-sized. So the crew heads to Giant Town to figure things out. They meet a bearded man in a giant outfit riding a giant grasshopper who tells them this is the land of the gods, ruled by gods like the Ear God, the Needle God, which is the hedgehog they have beaten up last chapter, and Iskit, the castle's ruler. And FYI guys, Oda based that huge cat on Norse mythology. Cats were the favorite animal of Freya, the goddess of fertility, love, and luck. Freya's chariot was pulled by Norwegian forest cats, known as skogcats, which are bigger and stronger than regular house cats. The man mentions that the Ear God was recently burned outside town, and Luffy, feeling guilty, starts to speak, but Usopp quickly shuts him up. The crew tries to act innocent about killing the Ear God, but the man offers them rations and warns them to stay away from the other side of the castle, where the sun god's temple is, guarded by ferocious creatures. Naturally, this excites Luffy, and he runs straight for it. Zoro joins him, and Sanji scolds Zoro for always going along with Luffy. As Luffy reaches the end of the fake town, he hits an invisible barrier, a giant mirror. The sky and scenery were just reflections. The townspeople are shocked as the sky cracks above them. Luffy breaks through the mirror and falls into a huge room filled with Lego pieces. Town is revealed to be a diorama inside a giant glass cage, like a fish tank, with furniture and a sewing machine, explaining the tiny costumes. The Straw Hats are stunned, realizing they've been in a cage, like pets to giants. Suddenly, they hear a voice, and it's revealed that Chopper has been trapped outside the cage. Zoro frees him, and Chopper tearfully hugs Nami. The crew investigates the room, and Usopp wonders if the sun god is really a skilled craftsman. Luffy notes that everything is made of blocks, and Sanji explains that the burning smell earlier came from synthetic resin in the rabbit they roasted. As they explore, two giant animals, Hilmengander, a giant snake, and Mugen, a giant raven, appear, and Luffy and the crew fight them, causing a fire. So guys, here's another Norse mythological creature Oda took inspiration from. Hilmengander is based on Jormungandr, also called the Midgard serpent or world serpent. It's a giant sea serpent that lives in the ocean, circling the earth and biting its own tail, like an Ouroboros. Because it surrounds Midgard, it's called the world serpent. Mugen was inspired by Munin, who represents thought. Munin is one of the two raven servants of Odin, the Allfather of the Aesir gods. Outside the room, the sun god, a massive figure wearing a black tunic and a deer skull with antlers, walks toward the room. The sun god enters and is shocked to see Luffy, in Gear 5, fighting the animals while laughing amid the fire. Luffy uses Gum Gum pistol to defeat the snake, and Zoro takes down the crow. The Straw Hats flee back to the diorama town, encountering Iskat, the giant cat ruler. After a brief scuffle, they ride Iskat while Nami reveals a map of the area. They realize the way out is through another mirror, and Luffy says they should break it to escape. The sun god is furious and chases after them. The townspeople are in disbelief as their sun god becomes enraged. Luffy prepares for a showdown, and we might be in for an epic battle between Luffy and the so-called sun god of Elbaf. It seems like this giant has been capturing humans for generations, placing them in this diorama society. These people may have been born in the model, believing they're living on Elbaf. It's creepy to think about. Another crazy thought is that Sanji might have cooked and eaten the giant's pet rabbit. Let me know your thoughts on this chapter and whether you expect a fight or an escape. If you enjoyed this review, don't miss my video on the most anticipated final saga fights Oda has foreshadowed. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.